Founders are CEOs, hidden tigers on their toes. Woke up in the boardroom, and it looked like a monsoon. We have skyscrapers in the plans, and a factory in Japan. Headquarters in Lagos. All I want is a fellow playlist. All my friends got letters from the president.
Artist, I'm not this kind of artist. So my artistry is in.
Everyone is a painter. People just paint different amounts in their life.
They use different.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. And the artists know that too. That's why they feel so self-conscious all the time, because they realize that it's not a special amount of skill. And so once you really realize that as an artist, you just paint as much as you can, because you're like, so. But that's me saying that. What about you? What about you? So we got Annette Castro. Cantu. Okay. Cancel the podcast. I'm actually firing myself. I was waiting, this morning I asked God, I was like, give me a sign if I should quit. This is the sign, actually. Thank you guys for coming. No,
mic drop.
No, I was trying to read it. I'm wearing sunglasses. It's nighttime, so I'm setting myself up to fail. And I read Castro. I was like, go with it. I'm a very go with the flow kind of guy. I'm like, believe in yourself, Kinyo. You think it says Castro? Don't take a second look. Believe in me. But anyway, okay. So Annette Cantu is with us, guys. I might cut the first part of that podcast out. I don't know. But Annette Cantu is with us, and she is an artist here in life. And we're at Bobalicious, but that's only for those of you who can see the video. Then you can be like, that's cool. Yeah. Just in general, if you're in San Antonio, hey, Bobalicious. And then Alex is here with us, the owner of Bobalicious.
Hello.
And I'm Kinyo, and this is a GLK Jam Sessions. And what's today? This is February, so I'm really happy because it took like 3 weeks, but I started doing the GLK stuff-ish kind of here like 2 months ago. And it's been a very slow burn, a very interesting climb. But eventually what I really want it to be, because this gave me a really good idea today with the idea of jam sessions, I do want to do some music stuff every now and then when different musical artists come through. But I really want the podcast to be like multiple people. So what I'd like to be doing is interviewing 2 to 3 to 4 artists at the same time, and do maybe 2 groups of that every Thursday. But anyway,
like a back and forth, like a brainstorming, but like
just a conversation, a fireside chat. That's really popular. Yeah, just talk about the stuff and talk about ourselves, what we did that week. As an artist, there's no week where you don't do anything. Unless you're on vacation and then you're doing something even cooler. So I'd love to hear, and then, just what different artists are going through. So anyway, yeah, this is a great week for me. I got more of my books in stock. This is not my book. Nice. This one is Kevin Pritt's book from him, and then, shout out to Voter. And yeah, so we got Annette Cantu here with us, and we're going to talk about her art journey, maybe. I think we'll start with your life journey, because doesn't art come from life?
It does.
What is if you had to describe the balance, if you had to put ingredients, okay, I say this, if you had to put ingredients for me to be in the moment, give me an amazing painting, an amazing poem, and then allow me to feel comfortable. I even say, give me some like top quality coconut shea butter. And then those 2 things, those 3 things, that's the ingredient from, if you want me to like make a painting or anything like that, I'm done. Off those 3 things alone.
It's and like I'm juicy, gooey ooze that people really want.
Yes, exactly. And it's like almost reminiscent of home. For some reason, cocoa butter is one of the key elements of my childhood.
What's interesting is every day I felt like in my life so far, this is a long life we have.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I wake up this thing. It's almost like this brilliant light of epic colors just so you're waking up to it. That is how I sound. And then I just get through it. And all of a sudden, a splash of color here. Okay. An accent is not the thing you want to see. Okay? Or a splash of color there. And then you're like, okay, I see a cyclist come through. They're flashing lights. It's like, wow, okay, that helps me get my own Jesus and my inspiration for like things I write, things I draw. I'm not really a painter.
Yeah.
But I do know how to paint. But I focus more on my sculpture work.
Mm.
I do 3D. I started thinking, okay, what can I really push in 3D elements, in 3D world of Word? Okay, so we're sitting on couches, we're sitting on chairs, but then we think, well, what if there's something right here? What size, what shape, what texture?
Mm.
That's what size. That's what happens.
I love that description. Okay, that's cool. How do you think that size, those last things, what size, what shape, how do you think that plays into your worldview, right? You said that the things that happen in your day are the splashes of color, which is very cool. I love that because that gets into very much how these moments in our lives impact our consciousness, because these things happen. And why do all these things, they always catch you off guard. It's a normal day. You're like, oh, it's a beautiful day. It's always a beautiful day. And then something happens. It always catches you off guard. No one's ever like, oh, I got into a car accident, which makes sense because car accidents happen. No one says that, even though car accidents do happen. And at some point, someone's going to get into a car accident. But for you, it's this big thing. Why? Because for you, it's this big thing. But it's just a splash of a different color when you weren't expecting it. For stunt people, it's actually not that weird. They're more accustomed to it. So it's like but that's cool on that. But what about the shapes? And we're gonna get into it for a second. But I'm actually gonna take a break. This is something I haven't done in a second since I used to do live shows. But it makes sense. And when I edit it, I'm gonna edit a commercial in right here. Okay. So. Stay tuned for this message from your sponsors, from my sponsors.
Who are the sponsors?
It's probably going to be other products that I own that I'm going to put in there. That's usually how I do it.
On their toes, all my friends are CEOs, hidden tigers on their toes.
I'm fully focused on the equity. Yup, diversifying portfolios until the commas increase. All my friends have multiple income streams. CEOs of the companies, performing overseas, getting foreign currency, opening for the culture of ministry, handling business on the Cuban beach, returning to the States with global entry. We're moving forward. Progress is a destiny. Ambition is the recipe, making history. Entrepreneurs creating another masterpiece. Ownership, cruising on a ship, Caribbean trips. All my friends went from the streets to climbing ladders. Now they at the top of the industry. Representing Dab Troll Project 4 in the number one itinerary.
Cameras at the same time. Holding it was a good decision. This is actually pretty cool. Okay. We're not live. I do this live sometimes, and I might go live for a portion of this one, this little second chunk, but I'm not live right now. I'm just recording, and it's going to be, anyway, so I'm just recording. So obviously the people listening know that I'm recording because they're enjoying the product of that recording. So we're back, and we got Annette Cantu, and joining us also we have now
Matt. Matthew.
Okay. Oh, you don't have like a fancy artist name that you go by sometimes?
The name I go by is the Relentless Artist.
Okay, and both of you, yes, I remember that. And do you have, what's your Instagram?
Well, my Instagram's Annette.
Okay.
Art Studio, yeah. But I work with
Annette Zarius?
Annette's Art Studio. Yeah.
Annette Art Studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I work with other artists, like musicians and even some gamers, I have 2 different stages.
Okay. I want to talk about so many different things, but what kind of art do you do? Relentless artist. Does anyone call you Relentless?
Yeah, a few. Yeah.
Is that your wife, girlfriend?
No.
Sister? Cousin?
She's my best friend.
Best friend. Oh, okay. I should have gone to friend. I don't know why I skipped over friend. I assume there's some sort of relation. But do you call him Relentless?
Yeah, I go by it.
Do you call him Relentless though, friend? No.
No.
She's like, I met him after. That's one of the biggest things in my life because Kinyo, I actually, switched over to like 6. So I sound like I had some sort of surgery. Anyway, sorry. Kinyo, I started going by Kinyo like 6 years ago or something like that. And, a lot of people know me as my full name, which is Olu Busola. And, I'm not going to ask people to switch and call me Kinyo, but I don't know.
But you never asked me what I go by.
Yeah, you go by Alex. I'm sure I figured out what
you
your
didn't
name
ask me
is.
if I have an artist name.
Why would you have another artist name and then tell me that your name was
Well, because
Alex?
Alex is my real name, but How do you not know an artist?
That's true.
It's actually
That's
Mr.
true.
Bobalicious, by the way.
Well, actually, that makes sense. You should literally. Okay, we need to do an artistic rendering of Mr. Bobalicious.
Actually, you know what's funny is
Yeah.
a lot of my customers when they would see me out there, they used to say, "Hey, you're that boba guy." So a lot of times
That
they would call me a boba guy
boba guy.
or a boba guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna start a
it's
comic
kinda
strip.
Funny if
I know, boba.
We need to find an artist. If there's an artist out there who wants to do boba guy, then DM Bobalicious _cafe. And you can become the artist.
that
Yeah.
boba guy.
But okay, cool. What was I about to go into?
Many did.
Oh, what kind of artists do you do? Art do you do?
Digital art and illustration.
Okay,
Is more what I focus
all right. Digital art. Break that down a little bit more.
on. So I started off doing traditional art and more like Copic markers and all that kind of stuff, but to me it got a little tedious and my vision would get ahead of me. So it was a lot easier for me to render something on like my iPad or some Photoshop or something and then just throw color on it and make it what I want to do before and not have to worry about like ink smudges and all that other kind of good stuff. So it was just a lot more convenient for me and I could take my iPad anywhere.
Yeah.
I started doing posing more on that.
Okay. Very cool. How long have you been doing that?
Digital art just recently, for about maybe a year or two. Traditional art I did ever since like I remember since I was like 7 years old. I was making comic strips in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
But digital art just recently was about a year or two ago.
So what's your main theme?
Anything, sci-fi, fantasy. I'm more of a illustration artist, so I love to write and draw at the same time.
Okay.
So one of my main goals is to get out a graphic novel that I'm writing and distribute it.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. That's kind of what I'm into.
That sounds good. Is it scary? Is it like, do you dabble into the gore? I kind of like.
No.
Okay, good.
I've never dabbled in it. For me, it was more like sci-fi, fantasy, action, adventure kind of stuff like that.
I was gonna ask you, is it like a sci-fi graphic novel?
Some of it, yeah. A lot of it was sci-fi. Some of it's fantasy. Other of it's one thing I'm actually finding myself more and more into is a cyberpunk type of theme where it's all futuristic and it's all kind of like Blade Runner style, kind of like that, where it's all future tech and everyone's augmented and stuff like that.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm really starting to get myself into, and I'm really liking where that's going.
I had a customer that used to come here all the time, and you just made me think of and he was writing a sci-fi romantic novel. And he was showing me he was almost done with it, and then I haven't seen him anymore. He was showing me the pictures. He was doing his own pictures and stuff. I cannot remember his name. This was like 2 years ago.
FBI took them out.
And they were like, no romantic sci-fi.
Like, you're getting too close. I want to do sci-fi poetry. That's one thing I was thinking about. I want to do a book. I've written a couple like prototype poems of it, but I want to do a book of poems written from the perspective of a time traveler. And so he's traveling through time, doing a bunch of stuff, but there's no story, right? Because I'm not writing a story. I'm writing a book of poems. So you're just reading poems written by a time traveler. I just put that out there. Someone will steal it, but that's fine because I'm probably not gonna do it.
What
I'm
about
gonna be
a
honest
sci-fi
with you.
song?
Any idea that I'm like talking about and I haven't already done usually means I'm not gonna do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
but
do
no,
it.
I
Just
feel
do it.
that, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna do it like years later, and it's not gonna matter that someone else did some version of it, unless that makes $1 billion. And even then, I'm happy because then I get to watch it.
Yeah.
So, like, I watch Doctor Who. I'm never jealous. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, still part of his sci-fi,
not
cyberpunk
that I came
poetry.
up with the idea. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about something, Annette. I mean, while we were doing this, because this is a cool opportunity for me to like collect things too in this podcast, and I like to collect knowledge. And you said something very interesting. You have your personal website, right? And then you said that you on that website you write a bunch of articles.
Yes, but simple, just one-page articles of artists that I've met
Okay.
along the way.
Now, I noticed both of you because of Raw, because I do something very similar. You said that you try to write an article for everybody at Raw, which I'm like, that's so cool, right? That's such
Yeah.
a smart strategy, right? Because if you write an article for everyone, and then people also underestimate how good that is for the city, you know. But it's also really good for you, right? Because you're doing this service, and then you get the attention, much like I'm doing right now with this podcast. It's good for the city. I started the podcast really because it's good for the city. You know, I'm from California, and in California there's just a lot more media. You know, people are just out. You don't really think about staying home on a day. You don't really think about it. If you're staying home, it's because you're broke, right? But in San Antonio, you stay home because it's preferable. It's actually more comfortable. Houses are very comfortable. You probably have a whole bedroom to yourself, a whole apartment, probably, you know, in San Antonio, which is not a thing you're doing very much of in LA because it's just so expensive, you know, if you're a young person. And so there's always like some kind of shambolic situation. You want to get out, and it's even more so in like New York, and even more so in definitely overseas in third world countries. You're definitely not staying home in a third world country. You're out in the streets, you know. But San Antonio is very different, and that leads to a lot of different things. But one, it leads us to a lot of consumption of media that's not created in our own city, because there's really just no pipeline or access for it. So the media thing is very, very cool, and it's very, very beneficial in the city, but then it's also very, very difficult, and it has to be a labor of love because there's not a lot of flow, and there's not going to be a lot of acknowledgement of really what you're even doing. So tell me a little bit, how's that been? How's that been?
Well, what I do is I try to tie it to an event, because since I have my own like little studio space, it's right by Woodlawn Lake.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of historical area. So what I've been doing is every 4th of July comes around, I present like artist work that I meet, including. So when I present it, I want to include them too, even though they're not always there.
Yeah.
Or they're doing something else.
You present at your gallery?
I present my gallery studio. And then
You do an event at your gallery?
yes. But usually for the 4th of July, I'm trying to do something for the holidays.
Oh, very
Because
cool.
people do tend to walk around and want
When
to
was your
see
last
what's
one?
There. Well, the last one I did was Aztec Theater. Then December came, I got sick. So I was like, okay, can I do that?
Yeah.
But
When's your next one?
Well, my next one, I'm preparing for spring.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do a summer one.
Nice.
Again.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do it by the season.
Yes.
Because then a lot of people don't necessarily walk outside, even though I'm right by Woodlawn Lake Park. And so the park is supposed to be, pedestrian friendly.
Yeah.
And there's even a pedestrian friendly crosswalk in front of my studio, but there's rarely people that do that. So that's why I went to doing articles of artists I meet. And I still try to get that information, generating that direction for everyone.
Yeah.
Because eventually we're going to find that niche that we belong in.
Yeah. That is so cool. Okay. That was really cool. That was really interesting. I'm going to toss it back to Relentless over here. Relentless. Why'd you pick Relentless? Why'd you pick that?
It was after like days and days of picking so many names, and I went from wanting to be the more professional, like my first and last name, or or like a whole bunch of different stuff. And any time that I did it, I just wasn't happy with it. So I would start, making art and creating content, and then I would just fall off of it because I didn't like the feel of it.
Yeah.
And so it came to a point where it was like a self-realization point where like I know this is something I want to do. I'm not going to stop doing this. Like I'm going to be relentless until I get it. Until I get this. Until I get where I want to be. So it was a very So
that's so interesting. That's so interesting. That's my story is so interesting because I have a media company called Project Forward. I go by Kinyo. Kinyo is actually very similar too. That's because Kinyo means it's a Nigerian. My middle name is Kinyo, which is a Nigerian name. Second half of that, I kind of just took Kinyo, and Kinyo means you have seen the warrior. So I was like, that's goes with me, warrior. And then my media company Project Forward, I also realized like at a certain point, I was like, you know what? A whole bunch of things keep coming up, no matter what, as an artist. And I was just like, screw it. It doesn't matter. What any day comes, it doesn't matter. The art is coming out.
Yeah.
I'm going to make stuff. And it's just, and so that's so, because you do have to have that mentality. And I think it's because the nature of ideas is really weird. I don't think people, there's probably a lot of thought on this actually, but the nature of ideas is so weird. And so, and we're kind of just moving around without full knowledge in kind of this universe of ideas, and so you grab one and then it moves and you don't know how it's connected because it's not. It's different. It's different. Okay, very cool. Now we had said before we went to the break we were gonna. Annette had said something about the moments in her life, how she handles different energy. She does it by she thinks about it. Similar in her artistic approach as like colors coming up on a canvas, which she explained much better than I'm re-explaining right now. But you can go back and listen to that part. But then I had asked about the shapes,
Right.
and how you think the shapes play out in a day,
Well, I
or
find
not in a day,
interesting
but
is
in your life, in your approach to life.
shapes in like 3D involves
Mm-hmm.
how we're gonna feel and react to an environment.
Mm-hmm.
So some people, when I was growing up, I was thinking, oh, these flowers are so beautiful. I didn't know they were wildflowers. I just saw them as, this is so beautiful. But it made my world. It made part of my emotion and my thought process to be in a different place.
Mm-hmm.
Those shapes were, it's not necessarily we're thinking soft. I was thinking lines, linear. Like, all of a sudden you have this bulbous look coming out. And then you see something tapering and trailing. And that is not what we normally see when we step inside an office room
Mm-hmm.
or an elevator. It's just nothing. And so the shapes really play a role that we are not really familiar with because we're really living with it.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can start playing with it.
Ooh, okay. I know I missed part of that because when people talk, I think, and then
It's
I'll
fine.
come back in.
It's
But
fine.
then I came back in, and what you were talking about again was very cool. It's like it's not something you think about. Okay, continue.
Yeah, you live with it. We
Yeah.
live with our shapes. And so we tend to even sometimes pass some shapes
Mm.
or pass some of that 3D essence because we're so familiar with it. And we can just take a different angle
Mm.
and then we can get inspired by it. Whether it's, sometimes it can be bad, sometimes it can be scary, sometimes it's something like in the dark, you're walking through a park,
Ooh.
you try to get to your vehicle,
Yeah.
and you just see these shapes come like moving. But
Yeah.
then that makes you more inspired to do more moving projects.
Yes.
Even on a 3D level, you can push that. That's how it's my school. Yeah. That's how I know, okay, I'm going to make 2 new chairs, and I know how I'm going to make it like a cubby hole. Or I'm going to add it to where, okay, I'm going to make a cubby hole, but I'm going to make sure there's some space for some cushions. Because I'm not thinking of like pliable. I'm just thinking, how can I make this space more comforting if I want to be relaxed? It's almost like, it almost hugs designers.
You
It
know,
really does.
you are
It feels like-
really good at explaining this stuff.
Mhm.
Because everything you're saying, I'm like, I would explain it like that if I could think about it. Like if I could think about explaining it like that. Like, that is really cool. Yes, and that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. How did you learn about art? Like, what was
It
your...
just happened
Yeah.
when I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
I started with my mom on the bakery,
Mhm.
and so she would bring in all these like pictures, and one of the pictures was like Ninja Turtles, and I was like, I think I can draw it. I'm gonna try it. And I just picked up a pencil and paper and I started doing it, and everyone was like, oh, she can draw. I'm like, I just did exactly what I saw. And then the same thing with Disney, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I took some pastels. I found it. I thought, let's see what I can do with chalk. And that's kind of like where it just started. Like, what can I do with what I have?
Mm.
Now that I'm older, I'm realizing I can do a lot. I can do a lot and get away with it. I can paint a town red.
You're able to
Yeah.
you're able to communicate your vision.
Yes.
With your in words and in art, like on paper. So you're able to communicate it. You're able to bring it to reality.
What do you want to happen, Relentless? What do you want to happen? What's the deal? What's the paintings for? What's the art for? The media? What do you
The
want?
big overall goal for
Yeah.
myself is to prove that I can do something,
Yeah.
and like to prove not only to myself but like to my family and like everybody that I can do something, that I that I can what I really want is to give people the inspiration that I've been given, and transfer that into something that people would enjoy. And to me, that's through graphic art, that's through illustration, that's through graphic novels. Because I started off on that when I was young. My uncle started me off on the old school Spider-Mans and Batmans and all that other kind of stuff, and I was instantly hooked into not only just reading more, but into like looking and visualizing these worlds and playing them out like movies in my head. And I come out at the very end just so inspired and so motivated to do anything at that point. And to me, that translated into like, I want to do that. Like, it looked like a lot of fun creating these scenes and these worlds and these people and stuff, and having them do crazy things. And so my goal, like ultimate in the end, is just to kind of bring people the joy that I was brought at that age.
You know, it's very cool because you said 3 distinct things, right? You said to prove, that I can do something, which you've already done, and then to inspire people that they can do something the same way that you were inspired, which I'm sure you've already done, actually. Your friend's here with you. I'm sure she's inspired. He's inspiring to you, right? I'm sure, and it sounds like, very, laissez-faire, but I'm sure it's, inspiring, Artists are, either foolish or inspiring, depends, but, definitely inspiring. If you're a respectable person, you're a good person to, your friends and family, and you're an artist, then I think it's also inspiring, because, you found time to do this extra thing.
Yeah.
And then if you make money, then all the better, but, yeah. So that's really cool. And then the third thing you said was to, I think it was entertainment, kind of, to entertain people, essentially. And I think all of those things are cool. And, I'm kind of pausing on it because it's a lot of what I've been thinking about with, because of the way that you have your goals set out, which is to be productive, which is awesome, right? To inspire people, so to connect with people, and then to entertain them. That can all be one thing, And I think that is what's so cool about Marvel Comics or something like that, because, and we don't think about it, we're just like, this is amazing, and we use it we'll tell someone about, this comic, and we'll use it to talk about very, very deep things, because they've done those levels. The stories do the entertainment of it is very clear. The stories do the building up. It's about community, It is about how to tell people a story of community that they can connect to, and then of course it is about production. It's the best production. So I really think there's some really cool that's very cool. You're right on it. You have it laid out. You have it figured out. Nice. I want to see some of your art pieces in my hands. I thought that'd be cool. I know they can see it in the thing. But I realize art is like food, and you don't truly know what's going on until you, if they're not here, but if they can see me consume it, then they get a real good idea of what's going on here.
This was an inspirational piece. I'm spiritual, because I'm absorbing the world in a 3D perspective. I'm not ever satisfied with
this is really nice.
Even though I do enjoy comics, so don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
I don't even know.
Don't worry about that. I know
You're fine.
Yeah, so when it comes to the thoughts,
Very cool.
I was raised Catholic, but I do say simple prayers, and I don't go too far into it, because of course there's a lot of historical controversy with Catholics and the upbringing of Catholics. So I try to just keep in the now, in the present, and when thoughts and images come to me, that's one of them.
Yeah.
Anything creative.
I love that. Is there a reason why you like non-representational?
This is just one
So you do
aspect.
representation also.
So I do,
Let me see some more. Is just the book, or which one is
book
next?
actually
I want to
has
consume it all at least a little bit. Let me do some eating.
And pictures and photographs. So the photographs now are pretty rare. I try to get things that we never really see before, and I try to publish that. It is very hard because I'm working on a second book.
I'm not going to show them too much, actually. I can't show them the inside. I'll just flash it.
And this is an abstract drawing horses. You can see that.
Oh, that's so cool. Where do did you send those both to the same place, or you find different, or do you print them yourself? Or what's going on?
I work with another company to produce them.
Okay.
And it's
the same
hub.
company that does this and that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's another company, but it does really well. It's like an artist hub.
Yeah.
And any artist can join it. and you just upload the images, and you can tweak them any way you want, and then they already price it.
This is really
Like
cool.
any gallery, like any place, they're gonna get a percentage. So that's how this works, and it's legit. Like I love it. I use my PayPal account, and it has
That's
some
cool.
followers on there. And again, it's like a starting base.
Yeah.
So
I love it all. So, and that's all on. I had to get your website from you.
I asked my family if they could purchase first. And
Yeah.
I said, oh, please, could you, so we can see the quality material and see how it comes out. And it came out pretty good. And we're like, okay, we can do this. Come on with it. So I've been with them for 3 years or so. I've been, I think, back in 2016. And so I figured, like, if you wanted to check it out. Can you check this out?
I do not.
Okay.
So is it just towel you're doing, or is there other like?
It has, like, a various collection of things. Like, whatever you feel like it may work for you, you can use.
No, I
There's
mean-
some things I just will not do. Like, I think there was some bone cases. I only do like a little bit, not all of them.
I was wondering if you do like little like not blankets but little what is it, the smaller blankets, the little
Like a cover for the
Yeah,
small
like a little,
cover, or
you
a
know.
throw blanket.
yeah, like a throw blanket, yeah. Like
They do have some of that, but some of the pictures when you work with it,
Big
it
blanket.
will not really come out the same quality you would feel satisfied with. So you probably have to come with a full design. And the way I get inspired, the images, it's almost like I'm getting messages, and that I apply on the art. And then I listen to it's like I'm listening to my prayers and that spiritual, and then I listen to the people. There's just two different environments, and then I try to make it connect. It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do.
I'm gonna listen back to some of the things you've said. It's very relaxing. You had a relaxing vibe about you, and you're making me really think about the art side of things, which I haven't thought about as much. I'm gonna be honest. I really do think that I've gotten away from art. And I'm being hard on myself because that's what artists do. I mean, I still have been painting, but not anywhere near. And it's not even about the painting itself. I just love what you're doing and how you're allowing your art to live, to really live, and how you're putting it in these different situations. That's really, even the way you talk about it is really cool. It gives me some great ideas.
Yeah,
I like-
Instagram account.
How about you? How do you like people to consume your art? 'Cause that's really interesting. That's an interesting question.
It all depends. I mean, I have a couple digital stuff that I have. I started marketing some different stuff. I've made phone cases. I have buttons, pins, stickers. I recently got into the stickers, and I loved the way they came out. I work with a company called Rocket Monkey, and they work outside of San Antonio, around 1604 by the airport, and they've been great. Like the stickers I come up with and stuff like that. I have some if you want to take a look.
Yeah.
I would love to. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Let me see some. And then,
I've heard
and while you're showing them to me, because we're
Yeah.
gonna wrap up on the recording at least side of that of this. And what do you use? Two things to actually, I'm not really interested in that. What do you use to network? Like what is your networking strategy? Because I think that's really interesting. Yours, I love. It's very close to my heart. Like you don't even really get it. Most people don't. But I have a few blogs and I love doing that, because you're basically, you're a media company. You're a
Something like
newspaper.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to publish
With
myself by
pictures,
publishing other people. People don't really understand that publishing is a flow. And when you build up a water tower that's yours, you can supply water to the city. And you're not doing anything nefarious or weird. You just took the time to make a water tower. So it's a very real thing. And I love that as a strategy. It's also super hard. And then also there's all the logistics that come with owning a water. No one is getting rich
Right.
owning water towers. That's not what they're for. But they do allow you to have water where there was none. And sometimes that's necessary, especially in San Antonio.
When you give,
Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Sure,
give,
that
it
I've
comes
done.
back to you.
And if
Right.
you guys want to take some, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
I have extras.
It's open to receive.
Oh, that is so cool.
And have you checked out my Instagram? If you have an Instagram, my pictures is like what these.
Yes. Okay.
It
So
represents that.
I got
Working with other artists in a public environment and trying to
very
tie
cool.
in that community conversation in the arts.
I'm liking this.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This makes me a cyborg. Do you realize that? Because most people only have eyes on their head. I have an eye in my hand, right? Well, never mind. I mean, right?
You are. I mean,
It's like, because I can, like, show, and then, like, people get to see exactly what's going on. They can see me, and they can
And I
see
have
whatever's
plenty of
going on.
extras if you
Right?
if you like.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay.
And I have stuff
All right,
for
I'm gonna
everybody if you
I'm
guys
gonna
want.
add these. You know what?
That'd be
This
great.
is one thing I always like to do. I'm gonna keep one. I'm gonna put it on my laptop.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
was
literally
gonna
gonna
say
be
it.
here at every. You're gonna be advertised at every show. But
Remember
the
when
other
you
ones I'm gonna
had
give
it
away.
Open,
Hmm?
you can see. So keep your hand open.
I don't know. I don't play that game.
I'm talking about with the stickers, man.
No.
Oh, you're like, no, these are my stickers.
These are
I
mine.
have
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put
No,
them in
I
the vault,
know.
and I'm gonna give them away at future shows. So for
Alright.
those of you guys watching and listening, I love doing that because people do give like free stuff from time to time. So I'm gonna give those away at future shows. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap. Oh no, I wanted your networking thing. Let me get that really
so
fast.
To
How do you
talk
network?
about networking, I started on Facebook and it kind of fizzled out. I'm more on Instagram now.
Yeah,
So I do more on Instagram, but this year I have a goal to start up a YouTube and Twitch.
yeah,
So
okay,
to start doing
very
live-
cool.
live
What are you gonna
stream
do on?
some art.
Ooh, what are you gonna do on
live stream
Twitch?
Some art. I've
Yeah,
been
okay.
watching a lot of different art content creators, and
Yeah.
I love what they do on YouTube as far as like creating challenges and OCs and stuff like that,
Yeah.
as well as that more personal one-on-one type of, hey, we're just gonna chill, listen to music, and just draw for
Yeah.
2 hours. And you know,
That's good.
yeah,
Yes.
I've seen a lot of different YouTubers. It's really chill. It's a really close-knit environment. They'll be drawing while I'm drawing, and they'll chat and show their pictures.
Yeah.
And they'll choose what kind of music you guys want to listen to, and we'll just kind of
Yeah.
vibe and chill.
And those channels are cool because people just sometimes they want to pop on a channel.
Yeah.
It's why do people scroll through a channel? They're not looking for a thing. And sometimes you land on a little thing, and that person makes millions of dollars. How much more if you can scroll through channels of your friends? That's such a cool thing. I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching and listening. The media releases that I send you guys also get to your social medias and your websites and links and stuff like that. So I'll have all your stuff. I'll throw that in the description. And yeah, thank you guys. This is GLK. We're at Bobalicious. This is Boba Guy right here. And thank you so much, Boba Guy. Alex. Anyway.
You just call me Alex.
And shout out to Vote Earth. Vote Earth on
We
the
build plans like
cameras,
Spaceland, Tesla engine in our tour van. Oakland Gary Vee with the passport, pray to Jesus and I fast forward. All my friends are CEOs, hidden tigers on their toes. All my friends are CEOs, hidden tigers on their toes. All my friends are CEOs, hidden tigers on their toes. All my friends are CEOs, hidden tigers on their toes.
I'm fully focused.